All right, we're looking at multiplying polynomials again, now a little bit more complicated. So first, monomial times a polynomial. We did that yesterday, but now more than one set. So in this case, in this first one, we have multiplication. If there's brackets next to each other, it means multiplying. Multiplying here, so we need to follow the order of operations. We need to figure out those multiplications first before we add. So remember from yesterday, multiplying the coefficients, so 2 times 4 is 8. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. Y to the 4th times y cubed is y to the 7th. Okay, then plus 5 times 2 is 10. Y squared, there's no x in the first, so I'm just going to copy out the x to the 4th. And y squared times y to the 5th is y to the 7th. Okay, if you take a look, these are like terms. They have the exact same variables with the same exponents. So 8 plus 10 is 18, x to the 4th, y to the 7th. Okay. So next one, we have a multiplication there. Adding, that's multiplying when there's nothing in front, or when there's no sign in front of the bracket, and there's multiplying there. Okay, so we do all the multiplying first, so that's going to be 6, 2 times 3 is 6, m cubed times m to the 1 is m to the 4th, n to the 1 times n squared is n cubed. Okay, plus, then 5 times 2 is 10, m to the 4th, n, there's nothing to change the variables at all, then plus, 3 times 4 is 12, m squared times m squared is m to the 4th, n squared times n to the 1 is n cubed. Okay, take a look, we have some like terms, m to the 4th n cubed, m to the 4th n cubed. The middle one is not a like term. So 6 plus 12 is 18. And then we just copy out the other term. Okay. All right, so those were all monomials multiplied together. Now we have a binomial times, so that's a multiplication there by 2. This is a multiplication, but then we add afterwards. So we have to multiply through, and basically that gets rid of the brackets. So 2 times 4, don't keep the brackets once you've done that multiplication. Okay, because then your signs are all correct. So consider this a plus, a positive 5 times positive 2 is positive 10, so that's a plus 10x. And then 5 times 3 is 15, so it's a plus 15. Now your like terms are the x terms, so that's 18x. And 10 plus 15 is 25. Okay. Same in the next one, that's multiplying there, and then we add afterwards. So that's going to be 30x minus 24. So positive 3 times positive 2 is positive 6, so that's going to be a plus 6x. Oops. And then minus 9, and collect like terms. That's 36 x minus 33. Okay, now we have a subtraction. In any case, we're going to multiply. Okay, so 4 times 3 is 12p, plus 4 times 5 is 20. Now, sign in front is negative. So if we treat this number out front as a negative and multiply it through, then don't put any brackets. The signs will have changed appropriately. So negative 2 times 5p is negative 10p, and I'll show it as a subtraction. Negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2, so I'll show it as a subtraction. That way you don't have to do another step. and it gets confusing if you keep the brackets. So now 12p minus 10p is 2p. 20 minus 2 is 18, so that's a plus 18. Okay, now a bunch of things here. So I'm going to multiply through to get rid of the brackets. So the first, that's going to be 48xy and minus 12y. Then negative in front, that's going to be minus 6xy. And then a negative times a negative is a positive, so plus 15y. And then this is a positive, so plus 6xy and plus 2x. And then collect like terms, so 48xy minus 6xy is 42xy. Then, so that's a degree 2 term. Oh, actually, no, I got to erase that. There are, I'll do it in green here. There's a 48xy, negative 6xy, and a 6xy. And then there's an x, just do a circle there. That's right, a y term and a y term, and then just an x term. So I'll go back to my blue. So 48 minus 6 plus 6. Well, minus 6 and plus 6 negate each other. So really, we're at 48xy. And then negative 12y plus 15y is positive 3y. Okay, and then plus 2x. Now, these are in descending order of degree, which is great, but we should really have the x term before the y term. So 48xy is a degree 2, so it goes first, and then plus the 2x plus the 3y. Okay, let's go to the next page. So now we have multiplying with some trinomials. Same process. Everything gets multiplied by the number in front. You can use arrows if that helps you keep track, because you don't want to miss anything, right? Okay, so that's going to be 18x squared minus 12x plus 30. Then this is a positive 3, so 3 times 2 is 6. X squared, then minus 15x plus 3, and then your like terms. So x squared and x squared, x and x, and a constant and a constant. Okay, so the x squareds go first, so that's going to be 24x squared. Negative 12x minus 15x is negative 27x. 30 plus 3 is 33. Okay, next one. Multiplying through everything. And now with this, take the negative in front of it, okay? And that will get rid of the brackets, okay? So that's going to be 5x squared minus 20xy plus 25y squared, then minus 15x squared minus 6xy minus 3y squared. Okay, so that's going to be negative 10x squared, and then negative 26xy, and then plus 22y squared. And so they're all degree 2. So I put the x squared because it's earlier in the alphabet. Put the term with an x and a y in it because there's still x's in it. And then the y squared. Okay, a little bit more complicated variables here. So 4 times 3 is 12. And then x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. Y cubed times y to the 1 is y to the 4th. Okay, so that together, and then this. So it's going to be minus 8x squared y to the 5th. And then plus, so we have to do this. So that's plus 6x to the 4th, y to the 4th, plus 15x squared y to the 5th. Okay, and then like terms. So the x to the 4th, y to the 4th, and the x squared y to the 5th. So go back to blue. So that's going to be 12 plus 6 is 18. X to the 4th, y to the 4th. Then negative 8 plus 15 is 7. So plus 7 x squared y to the 5th. Okay. And then the next part, practice evaluating. So really when we substitute these values in, then it's really an order of operations questions. Okay, so best to use brackets. So that's 3. I'm going to put brackets where there's an x. So basically where all the brackets are, where all the variables are, I'm going to put brackets right now, and then I'm going to fill them in with the values. Remember, that's why they're called variables, because the values can change. I'm going to use a different color. So for x, I'm going to put 2 in for every x. Y, I'm going to put 3 in. Okay, and now I'm going to evaluate. So 3 times 4 is 12, times 3 is 36. Actually, I'm going to step back a sec, because order of operations, if you do this in step by step, then it is, we should do the exponents first. So that's going to be 4. Copy everything else out. Then minus 3, 2 squared is 4. And 3 squared is 9. Now we can do the multiplying. So 3 times 4 times 3 is 36. Minus 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 2 times 9 is 18. Okay, so 36 minus 12 is 24. Plus 18 is 42. Okay. Next one, same thing. Copy it out with brackets wherever there's a variable. Sorry, I'm having to use my mouse, so it's a little challenging. And then substitute negative 3 in for x and 4 in for y. Okay, and so that's going to be 2 times negative 27 times 4, okay, minus negative 3 squared is 9. It's not negative 9. 4 squared is 16. Okay, and then 2 times negative 27 times 4. So you might need a calculator for that. It's going to be negative. That's going to be what? 54 times 4 is 216. Okay. Then negative 216 minus 9 plus 48. If you need to use your calculator, you can. Okay, so that's negative 177. And that's it.